Never think that fierce sharks only appear in the deep sea. Once they break into a freshwater river inside a city, how should you respond when you are completely unprepared? What if there also happens to be an international swimming competition? Paris Abyss. Let's begin the main story. Two mischievous kids were working part-time, planning to salvage scrap metal from the Seine River to pay their tuition. But the next second, the ropes suddenly tightened. They thought they had finally pulled up something valuable. But as soon as they exerted force, one of them fell over violently. When they dragged it up to take a look, good grief, this thing was really solid. The fuse on the shiny artillery shell was still intact. The police immediately sealed off the scene, because an international swimming competition was scheduled to be held here in 3 days. Police Chief Adil worried that news would leak out and affect his votes in the mayoral election, so he claimed it was just an expired dud. But just as he suppressed the incident, marine biologist Sophia detected traces of a mutated shark in the river. She immediately found Adil and asked him to cancel the competition. Unexpectedly, blinded by self-interest, Adil claimed sharks couldn't survive in freshwater and directly had Sophia escorted out. The very next second, divers salvaging the shell underwater saw a dead electric eel that had been bitten in half. Before they could react, a great white shark nearly 10 meters long swept past them. Without time to think, they were pulled back by their colleagues above and quickly swam away. Perhaps the shark was already full, allowing the divers to narrowly escape. Terrified afterward, the officers reported the incident to Adil, but he still clung to wishful thinking, caring only about his mayoral ambitions and completely ignoring human lives. It wasn't until the captain found Sophia again that she revealed the painful past. 30 years ago, while cleaning ocean waste, she encountered this very shark. Several teammates tried to capture it for research, but all were devoured. To prevent Sophia from suffering the same fate, they implanted a tracking device into the shark before dying. And now, that signal appeared in the Seine River. With the evidence in front of him, Adil decided to personally lead a team to follow the signal. But as soon as his men entered the water, a 2-meter-high dorsal fin emerged. Everyone instantly held their breath. Soon after, another tragedy occurred. As officers died one after another, the scene fell into chaos. After this, Adil realized the situation exceeded their capabilities and urgently sought Mayor N to request cancellation of the competition. But N's vanity was even stronger than Adil's. In her eyes, the event affected not only her political future, but also Paris's global image. No matter the risk, it could not be canceled. With persuasion failing, several officers decided to act privately. On the day of the competition, they returned to the sewers with TNT, planning to eliminate the threat completely. Unexpectedly, shortly after diving, Sophia sensed something was wrong. When she lit a flare, she was stunned. The mutated shark had already reproduced thousands of offspring. This meant their firepower was completely insufficient. Even worse, the sharks were heading straight for the competition site. Seeing this, they knew the crisis was irreversible. With the mindset of killing as many as possible, they detonated all the TNT around them. But before retreating, a drop tool alerted the shark swarm. Realizing the team was doomed, the captain detonated the TNT. As the sharks gathered, the powerful shockwave blasted them to the surface. Meanwhile, on the mayor's order, the massive swimming race began. Amid cheers, no one noticed the shadows underwater, rapidly approaching. At first, due to the crowd and sprinting swimmers, a few missing went unnoticed, until the referee saw fewer athletes and realized something was wrong. But it was already too late. The shark swarm began feeding, instantly turning the Seine River red. Swimmers desperately fled towards shore, but the banks were 2 meters high. Special forces rushed in, unleashing heavy firepower. This startled the sharks, sending them scattering. The riverbed was churned up. Even buried shells were uncovered. Tragedy struck again. Chain explosions destroyed the Seine River, followed by uncontrollable flooding. When everything finally settled, the city lay in ruins. Sophia, who barely survived, saw Paris submerged in water, with sharks still swimming around. She realized the most terrifying thing wasn't the sharks, but people's disregard for warnings, Adil's hesitation, and Mayor N's selfishness, which caused this irreversible disaster. Though this is just a movie, it shows us reality, global warming, and nature's repeated warnings. Yet some people only care about immediate interests and choose to ignore them. If this continues, what will be submerged won't just be Paris, but the Earth we rely on and the future of the next generation. Can you guarantee that we won't be next? Lao Wang Talks Movies. See you next time.